With the battle to beat the drop hotting up across Europe, let's take a look at 10 players who are crucial to their club's chances of escaping relegation. 10. Emmanuel Dennis. Given his excellent form in recent weeks, we were tempted to pip for Cucho Hernandez here. But while the 22-year-old has had a big hand in recent results, giving hope to Watford fans with a superb overhead kick goal against Arsenal and a brace in the 2-1 win over Southampton, Emmanuel Dennis remains their most important player in their bid for survival. Signed from Club Brugge for just £3.6 million last summer, Dennis hit the ground running at Vicarage Road, registering a goal and an assist in the side's 3-2 win over Aston Villa on the opening day. And while his output has dried up recently, with just one strike in 2022, his 9 goals and 5 assists account for around half of the club's league total of 29. And of the club's 6 wins, Dennis has only failed to score in one of them. Ranking second for minutes played behind Moussa Sissoko, Dennis has remained an ever-present under 3 different managers in Hertfordshire this term. A constant in a talented forward line that has needed to compensate for a horrendous defence. If Roy Hodgson is to stand any chance of keeping the Hornets up, Dennis will need to start firing again. 9. Raphinha. After racking up 59 points in 2021, the most by a newly promoted Premier League club in 20 years, few saw Leeds getting into a relegation battle this term. But amid a debilitating injury crisis, the Yorkshire outfit plummeted down the table, with their goals per game falling from 1.6 to 1.1, and legendary manager Marcelo Bielsa eventually getting the sack. One thing that hasn't changed at Eden Road is the sheer class of Raphinha, who has proven himself as one of the Premier League's best attackers since signing from Rennes in the summer of 2020. The Brazilian forward has earned 7 caps and scored 3 times for his country since getting his first call-up last summer, and has proved talismanic for the Whites too, with 9 goals and 3 assists to his name at the time of recording. The same as Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne. Like Dennis, Raphinha has scored just once since December, but as evidenced by his excellent late assist for Joe Gelhardt in the side's crucial recent win over Norwich, he remains their biggest difference maker on the field. Only Bamford and Gelhardt, who between them have played less than half the minutes of the 25-year-old, average more than his 2.9 shots per 90, while his 2.2 chances created is also a squad high. Whether or not he helps them stay in the top flight, a move to a much bigger club beckons. 8. Ethan Ampadu. Venezia's return to Serie A after a 20-year absence was a source of jubilation for fans who love the romance of the beautiful game. And for a while this term, they look confident of staying up, beating relative giants like Fiorentina and Roma and sitting 14th, 6 points clear of relegation after 13 games. But they've won just 1 in 16 since then, losing their last 4 to sit 18th at the time of recording. And while they'll need to rely on a number of players to claw them out of their current slump, with Mattia Aramu, David Okereke and Thomas Henry providing almost all the side's goals between them, Chelsea loanee Ethan Ampadu is also worth a mention here. Now 21, the Wales international has been key for the Winged Lions, ranking 4th in the squad for minutes played and providing 3 assists, which is more than anyone bar Aramu from the base of midfield. An active defensive presence too, Ampadu is averaging 5.2 tackles and interceptions per 90, while 3 passes into the final third a game also ranks him among the side's most important ball progressors. Filling in at centre back and right back recently too, Ampadu has been invaluable in the floating city. Let's hope his performances can help one of Europe's most fashionable clubs stay in the big time. 7. João Pedro. Battling Venezia in the Serie A relegation scrap are Cagliari, a side that despite missing just one top-flight campaign since 2004, have finished in the top half of the table just once in that time, all the way back in 2009. Perennial relegation flirters, the Sardinian club have had 7 different managers since their last promotion in 2016. And haven't finished higher than 14th in the last 5 years. Sides like this tend to survive through a legendary presence in the dugout or a talisman on the field, and in Cagliari's case, it's certainly the latter. Brazil-born João Pedro, who was recently called up to the Italian national team, has been with the Islanders since 2014 and has been particularly influential over the last 3 years, hitting 18 league goals in 2019-20, 16 last term, and 10 so far this season. For context, that's more than Edin Dzeko and Duvan Zapata have managed in that same period. However, the goals have dried up of late. The 30-year-old has scored just once in the last 3 months, with teammates like Gaston Pereiro and Leonardo Pavoletti having to compensate for him in front of goal. Pick things back up, and João Pedro will be confident of steering Walter Mazzari's side to safety, just as he's done before. 6. Luis Maximiano. Considering they've been in and around the relegation zone all season and have the worst defence in La Liga according to expected goals, It's tempting to look at Granada's strike force of Jorge Molina and Luis Suarez, who have contributed to 21 goals between themselves, as the club's saviours. After all, they've helped the side score more goals than clubs higher up the table like Osasuna and Real Sociedad. But without the heroics of Luis Maximiano in goal, it's hard to imagine them being above the drop zone right now. Signed from Sporting CP last summer as a €4.5 million replacement for Betis-bound Rui Silva, Maximiano has been a revelation in Andalusia, keeping 5 clean sheets despite the shaky backline in front of him, saving 2 penalties and making more saves than any other keeper in the division. And they've been crucial saves too, according to post-shot expected goals, which measures the likelihood of a goal being scored based on the position of the ball striker and quality of shot. He's prevented 5.6 more goals than the average goalkeeper this term. His sweeping skills aren't bad either, ranking in the top 7% of stoppers in Europe's top 5 leagues for defensive actions outside of the penalty area. It's perhaps little wonder that he's been linked with both Barcelona and Juventus. 5. Patrick Vimmer. Named the Bundesliga's Rookie of the Month in January, Patrick Vimmer is having an excellent first season at strugglers Arminia Bielefeld. Having joined from Austria Wien last summer, the young forward, who turns 21 in May, has been the standout contributor in an otherwise lacklustre side, registering 3 goals and 6 assists from the flanks, including a spectacular Rabona to set up Alessandro Schopf in their 2-0 win over Frankfurt. And considering he plays in a team that ranks bottom of the league for possession on 40% and second bottom for shots per game on 10.9, his underlying numbers are incredibly promising. He takes 2.9 shots per 90, completes 2.9 dribbles per 90, the same as Bayern pair Sane and Gnabry, and while he remains a very raw talent, his impact on Arminia can't be understated. They boast a deceivingly good defensive record, the joint 5th best in the league, but the fact they've conceded the second most expected goals suggests they've been particularly fortunate with the state of the opposition finishing. And while their backline will need to hold firm in the final weeks of the campaign, more magic from Vimmer in the final third could make all the difference, with 4 teams currently separated by a single point in the bloody relegation fight. 4. Wahbi Khazri. Having played at Bastia and Sunderland, Tunisia international Wahbi Khazri is used to a relegation scrap. And now, in his 4th season at Saint-Étienne, he's leading the line for a side who faced dropping out of Liga for the first time since 2001. But having sat rock bottom of the table from September until February, a recent uptick in form has seen Leeds climb into the relegation playoff and give themselves a real chance of staying up, losing just 1 of their last 8 games. And Khazri's output will be crucial if they are to do so. Despite ranking 8th in the league for shots, Saint-Étienne ranks 16th for both goals and expected goals. Put simply, they aren't creating enough clear-cut scoring opportunities. And while Khazri has registered a respectable 9 goals, he also has one of the worst conversion rates among the league's top scorers, with almost half his shots coming from outside the area, indicative of the side's speculative approach. On course to hit double figures for just the 2nd campaign of his career, if Khazri can become a more imposing presence in the box during the run-in, Pascal Dupraz's side will fancy themselves to stay in the French top flight. 3. Sasa Kalajdzic. Like Saint-Étienne, Stuttgart have picked up a bit of form following a long cold winter, moving from 17th to 14th in the Bundesliga with 2 wins from their last 3 games. However, after finishing 9th last term and keeping hold of most of their key players, no one really expected the team to be in this predicament. Nicolas Gonzalez left for Fiorentina, Gregor Kobel was snapped up by Dortmund, and Kobel's replacement, Florian Müller, has been uncharacteristically bad in goal. But with the likes of Aurel Mangala, Wataru Endo and Borna Sosa all staying, another season of stability was expected. However, with towering centre-forward Sasa Kalajdzic missing half the season through injury, goals have been a problem for Pellegrino Mazzaro's side, with centre-back Konstantinos Mavropanos remaining their top scorer on 4 at the time of recording. Considering Kalajdzic hit 16 in the league last term, and the fact teammate Silas, who also reached double figures, has missed almost the entire campaign, his return to the side has been crucial. What's more, all 3 of the striker's goals have been set up by wingback Sosa, indicating an on-field connection that has picked up just where it left off. Stay fit and firing, and the 6'7" centre-forward can ensure survival. 2. Jordan Pickford. It's no secret that Everton have been a sorry state this term, with star striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin making just 10 appearances due to injury, former boss Rafa Benitez proving as disastrous as he was unpopular, and new appointment Frank Lampard yet to find his best side. And given Lampard's poor record with defences, goalkeeper Jordan Pickford will need to end the campaign on top form to help steer the Toffees clear of relegation. England's number 1 has rarely been among the most consistent stoppers in the Premier League, and has actually conceded around 2 more goals than expected this term. But he has nevertheless saved his side in crucial moments, helping them earn a 1-1 draw against Chelsea back in December with 9 saves, and keeping Newcastle at bay in their recent win against a resurgent Magpies. With such an unbalanced attack and a porous backline in front of him, Pickford is going to be busy in the final weeks of the campaign, and with Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal still to come, he'll need to rise to the occasion. 1. Joselu. Considering they're 4 points adrift of safety and have won just one of their last 17 games, La Liga outfit Alaves need a big end of the season to stay up. And for the 3rd season running, striker Joselu is their best hope of survival. The former Real Madrid and Newcastle man has been a revelation since signing for the Basque side in 2019, hitting double figures in each of the previous 2 campaigns, helping them narrowly avoid the drop on both occasions. This term, he's already recorded his best tally for the club, with 12 to his name so far, more than Atletico Madrid's Angel Correa and Barcelona's Memphis Depay. And while half of them have been penalties, they've required serious nerve, with 5 of the 6 spot kicks he's scored helping earn his side a draw or a win. Having recently had one saved against Granada by the aforementioned Luis Maximiano, and having scored just twice since January, Joselu needs to rediscover his form in the final third if Alaves are to have any chance of staying up. After all, he's had a hand in 61% of their goals this season. So team, that was 10 players that your club's survival hopes depend on. But who have we missed out? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to drop this video a like and subscribe to Eurofootball Daily with notifications turned on, and click on screen now for more European-based football content.